I need to give you the proper introduction. All right, guys. Hey, welcome to our Thursday agency building call. I'm excited to be able to have um, our family, actually, because he is family. That's my wife's cousin, um, Harold Durana, on with us. Before we dive in and give him the floor, I do want to give him his flowers. And here's what I mean by that. Um, i- in Family First Life, for the longest time, we would be like, all right, 10K a week or die, right? So Hall of Fame was our goal to be able to go, 400,000. And Steve Giordano kind of like broke that. He was like, all right, we're gonna go write 1 million, right? And so Harold is also one of those guys. There's only a handful of guys in our company that's ever written $1 million worth of business by themselves, not with the team, by themselves. Harold's one of those guys. Now, here's what's crazy. If you take all the people that have written $1 million worth of business by themselves in a calendar year, none of them have big teams except for Harold. And so, like, when I say he's one of one, he is literally one of one, right? So, Harold, I appreciate you for hopping on, taking time out your day to be able to share with us how you're able to write at such a high clip and also build a team. It's like fascinating, bro. Like when people come to me and they go, "How did you write insurance and sell and build at a high clip?" I'm like, "Bro, I only wrote 400. You wrote 1 million, like 1.2 actually. So it's like three times more than I wrote." So I appreciate you, man. For those that don't know you, can you kind of share your story and all that good stuff as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So thanks for having me. I love jumping on calls with you guys. I love my the intro music. Can't beat it. All right, guys. So yeah, as far as myself, you guys don't know, I've started in the insurance industry actually in 2009. So yes, I'm that old. It's been a long time. Now, I was at a different company for 12 years and left there at the end of 2021 to come here at FFL. Now, I know a lot of people say, well, you have experience. And to be quite honest, it means absolutely nothing because everything that I learned there, I had to come here and unlearn. I think the biggest thing, I mean, the main things that I took was, of course, how to talk to clients, right? In general, right? How do I have conversations with people? And I mean, you can learn that basically anywhere, right? You can learn that in any industry, really. But a lot of the things that I was doing, my word tracks and all that stuff, I literally had to force myself to let it go. And it was hard. It was really hard in the beginning because you do something for 12 years and you have to go somewhere else. Yes, it's the same industry, but it's completely different. It's not the same style of conversation. It really is completely different. So I had a hard time doing that transition. It wasn't as easy as people think because again, when you're ingrained to know only one thing and understand something, the way things work, you're just gonna keep doing that, right? So from there, 2021, like I said, I made the leap, and it was like October. And to be quite honest, during that time, it was holidays time. You got Halloween, then you got Thanksgiving, Christmas. I didn't really do much during that time, right? I was kind of just chilling in a sense, right? Because I was like, whatever, I'm good. I made 400 grand that year at the last company, and I'm like, I don't really need to. I'm good right now, so I could chill for the rest. But going into 2022, I did have that I know what I'm doing, you know, uh, um, mentality, right? Which is, that ego problem of like, oh, I'm good. I know what I'm doing. Don't worry about me. And it wasn't smart at all because I learned the hard way. I fell on my face. I called everybody that I can think of. I called Steve. I called everybody. Like, I don't understand why I'm not doing as good as I should be, and again, it's there's different levels, right, to it. So I'm not saying I did absolutely terrible, but from what I'm used to what I walked into, it was hard. It was tough. And you have your back against the wall. I have two kids, I have a wife, and it's just like, yeah, I'm starting all over, brand new, fresh, from 400 to zero, like boom. And I'm hoping I do the same thing, right? I'm hoping it works out, right? But at the end of the day, my attitude was there, right? I was like, it's gonna work where it's gonna work. I'm not going backwards. So it was hard, and I tell everybody this, like, I always like to talk about this a lot because there's people who come from other industries, who come from other insurance companies, and it's simple. This ain't that. This ain't that. If you come in here with that ego and you're like, I'm good, I know what I'm talking about, I know what I'm doing, you're gonna fall on your face. And realistically, some people do need to learn the hard way. I am one of those. I want to learn the hard way, and it happened. You learn the hard way, then you kind of put your hands up and you just go, all right, man, what am I supposed to do? And the thing is at that point, two things can happen, right? You could either go and say, all right, hands up, I quit. I'm out because it didn't work my way. Okay. Because I thought my way was the only way, right? Because that's what everybody thinks. It doesn't work. I thought, it was gonna be that, but then you get that again, it's quit, or you go and say, all right, let me know what I got to do. Okay. So if you find yourself in that spot right now, or wherever you are with it, and you're like, I'm doing it my way, I'm gonna do it this way, that way, and it's not working, to be honest, it's really not, it's not necessary. That's like one of my favorite things when people call me, text me, message me, they go, I'm trying to figure it out. And I'm like, figure out what? And they're like, well, I'm trying to figure it out. I'm like, there's nothing for you to figure out if thousands of people have already done it. Who you have a manager on a manager on a manager on a manager who has already figured it out. Why are you trying to recreate something you've never done? That makes no sense to me. There is no point. Follow what is already working. Why wouldn't you do that? Some of my guys, I always tell them all the time, look, go make $1 million first and then go do whatever you want because then you have money to blow. Like you have money to lose. You can lose now. It's okay. But what's the point if somebody already proven, if Steve has already given us a path and said, hey, here's the path to $1 million. All right, cool. I'm going to follow that path because you can always revert back to it, right? You make 1 million and then you start messing everything up. You want to disrupt, that disruption and change things around. Cool. At least you already knew how to make 1 million in the first place. So
Right.
guess what? Go mess it up then. Then from there, if it works, it great. You enhance some things, make things better. Sure, absolutely. If it doesn't work, guess what? You already know the blueprint to 1 million. Just do it again. It's very
Absolutely.
simple.
I love that because here's what's crazy. Like I didn't know who Harold was. So this is a true story. Like for those of you that know, like my in-laws live literally right next door. So like I'm done with work, I walk over to my in-laws' house because our kids are playing, and for some reason Janelle has Facebook Live on our TV because they have those smart TVs, and she's like playing some FFL video, and it's Sean Mike interviewing Harold, and my sister-in-law, who doesn't sell insurance, is like, why is Harold on the TV? And I was like, who the hell is Harold? And she's like, that guy being interviewed by your president and CEO. And I'm like, how y'all know him? They're like, that's our cousin. You know what I mean? So like rule one, recruit everybody you know, because if not, they'll be on somebody else's team. I'm absolutely pissed that Harold doesn't work in our group. But here's the crazy part. I hear his story and I'm like, this guy's a vet. And he calls me out of the blue. He goes, hey, can I get some time to have a few questions to ask? And I sit down and talk to him for like 30 minutes. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh damn, he just wrote like 800. Oh damn, he just wrote like 1 million. And then I'm like, and then he calls me and he goes, hey, what do you think about this? And he's asking me about stuff. And I'm like, why are you asking me? Because he's obviously writing more business than. But here's what I've learned. And I take this note down if I were you. Harold's a student in the game. He has no problem calling asking for help. A lot of times, Harold does what I do. I know what I was going to do anyways. I'm just calling for confirmation.
Mhm.
That's basically what a lot of us top guys do. We go, this is what we think is going to work. We know this should work because we've talked to enough people to know that it works. Hey, Daniel, let me run this by you real quick. And then he goes, yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, shoot, Daniel said yes. Andrew said yes. So and so said yes. That's a good idea. We're going to do it.
Mhm.
That's what a lot of us do. We're a student of the game. You know what I mean? I want to ask you, obviously, I can ask you questions about selling all day long, but this is more of an agency builder call.
Yep.
Your Zoom culture. Like, I've met a lot of people to be able to build $1 million agency in an office setting, right? You got Masca, you got Nina Hayden's group, you got Zach and Easton and those guys. I've never seen anybody build $1 million agency on Zoom. You're the only one. What are things that you are doing on your Zoom that other people, when you look at their Zoom, you go, that's dumb, right? Like,
Yeah,
what are things that you have cultivated and built in your Zoom culture that's allowed your guys to thrive?
absolutely. Great question. I have some stuff. You good? I'm gonna just
Yeah,
rip.
rip,
You
bro,
good? All
please.
right, cool. So, so building. So I'm gonna say some things, and I know some of you guys are gonna get not necessarily sad or upset or offended, which is good. It's a good thing if you're offended because then you're like, well, that is me. And if you are saying that at the end of certain things I say, then yeah, it's you. Okay. So first things first is when it comes to like building an agency. Well, let me talk about Zoom first. Well, number one on Zoom is this. Does anybody like talking to a wall here? No. Guess what? When you don't have your camera on, it's talking to a wall. Okay. That's weird. Who likes that? That's so weird. You're sitting in a Zoom with somebody having a conversation. They don't have their camera on. I don't know. That's weird. That's like if I stood in front of you and we're having a conversation, I just turned around and just started talking to you. That's weird as hell. So Zoom, cameras on. That's like number one thing. If you're not working, that's cool. We get it, right? It's cool. You don't have to work. You don't have to be on Zoom, number one. And the other thing is like we have a bunch of breakout rooms. Like the main room is like the lobby. And that's where a lot of people, yeah, sure, you don't have your camera on because you're in the lobby, sure. But when you go into breakout rooms, it's just weird. And people will call you out and go, yo, you there, Steve? Like you just don't have your camera on? Like, and everyone's like, oh, I'm not like, oh, I didn't do this. I'm not, my hair's not, nobody cares, dude. I wear the same thing every day. I wear a hoodie and hat every single day, a different color hoodie that says Illuminate on it. I have
Literally.
literally seven of these. I just change colors every single day of the week. That's it. So it's like, you're worried about what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It's just weird. Okay. The other thing too is like again, Zoom is, everybody jumps on Zoom while you're working. It's the office. You're here, you're working, you're present. Okay. The other thing too with our Zoom is that nobody has their own room. Nobody's allowed to have their own room unless it's staff for like onboarding or our VA staff for like tech or for data entry stuff. That's it. If you're not one of those, you're not getting your own room. Everybody loves to ask me, hey, can I get my own room? Can I call it, can Steven's agency room? No, not happening. That creates separation. Not going to happen. We're not doing it. Okay. Oh, the other thing too, with the cameras off, we have a room. It says lost and found, pretending to be here. So if you don't have your camera on and we're talking to you, I'm like, hey, you there? You there? You're not? Cool. I'm moving you to lost and found, pretending to be here.
Oh,
And
I
then
gotta
you
add that. We gotta add that one in ours.
do it. And then they get in and they're like, oh, who moved me? Like, bro, I was talking to you for like 2 minutes and you didn't respond. So what do you want me to do? Like, I just assume you aren't here, so I moved you to that room. Like, when we have like manager meetings or any type of meeting and stuff like that, I'll do the same thing too. Like, oh, this person's definitely not here. Oh, you're not even paying attention to this meeting? Cool, I'm gonna move. Like, don't be here just to be here. That doesn't even make sense. Just because you're here and you show up doesn't mean you're actually doing anything. So, see ya. Move to that room. Like, I don't want to bother you. you know? So yeah, Zoom culture. But let's go through some things as far as like how to grow your agency and build an agency. Okay. So when it comes to building your agency, there's four main things that you got to worry about. Okay. It's simple: process, training, your structure, and then your leads. Okay. Very simple. Okay. So process. What's the process for onboarding and training new agents? Training. What trainings do new and existing agents have available to them? Structure. What is your agency structure? Your agency schedule? Okay. How does it operate? And then leads. Leads. What is your strategy for new and existing? Because lead flow is cash flow. You're always going to hear that. Okay. So first thing, process. Whether you are warm market, personal recruiting, however you want, whatever you want to call it. Okay, what is their process? Just because it's your friend, you don't just go, "Yo, Steve, we're good, dude. You're on." Like, "Oh, I'm good. I'm on." That's it. No, that's not how it works. Okay, you still want to have a proper conversation because you're leading them into a business, and you don't want to make a promise to somebody and not fulfill that promise, or you don't want to go and tell them they're on, and then they have a different expectation of what actually it is. You still have this conversation. We still use My name is Stephen Yee, and I want to tell you about a. We still use that video. Okay, I still use that video to this day. Okay, so that video we send it to to anybody and everybody, whether it's a personal, whatever, it doesn't matter who it is. You're gonna watch this video because it does a lot of the work for you. It explains the company to its entirety. It answers a lot of the questions that the person has, and it also says things that you probably will forget, quote unquote, forget or will not say. So let them watch the video. It's what, it's 15 minutes long. It's not very long. After that video, now let's have a conversation. Okay. When you have this conversation, I know the video, so I'll go back and explain what is in that video. Okay. So I'm gonna go over licensing, what the licensing process looks like. Okay. I'm gonna go over so it's how we get paid, what our training looks like, okay, what the leads look like, okay, and then what's next. Okay. Right. So those are the main things that I'm looking at and what I'm talking about. But ultimately, I'm talking to them to see if this is going to be a fit for them. Right. One thing about what we do versus other places is that there's certain companies where your bonus is dependent on hiring, right? Ours is not. So when you are talking to somebody, your objective kind of is to weed them out, to be quite honest, right? So your first thing is whether again no matter who it is, the first question you always have to ask yourself is, would I train Steve? Do I see myself sitting here spending an hour, 2 hours, or whatever my time it is to train Steve to get running and going? Okay. If it's somebody who's like, man, I don't want to train this person. I could already tell they're going to be super annoying or whatever it may be, or doesn't click with me. Now, here's like for management group for us is if it doesn't click with you and you saying, I think I could see somebody else training them, then consult with another manager and say, hey, hey, I think this person would be a better fit with you. Then they can have that conversation. That's okay. But if you're sitting there going, dude, there's no way I could train this guy. Don't go to another manager and go, hey man, you want this guy? Like, no, dude, you don't even want him. Why do I want him? Get out of here. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, I plan on working whenever I feel like it. Training, do I have to be at training? Like, do I have to learn? Can I just do it myself? Yeah, dude, I don't want this dude. There's no way, not coachable. So, Steve, you want this guy? No, no, of course he doesn't. Okay. So you got to have these conversations and explain things very thorough and clear. Make sure that they understand how we get paid. Give them an example. I'm always like, hey, it's 100. Like, let's go through an example. Let's say it's $100 a month, $1,200 a year, 90%. Da 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 da. Here's your advance. Here's what's left behind. Here's how residual works. Okay. Does that make sense? Yep. Okay, cool. Now leads. Here's how leads work. Here's all the different type of leads that we do. Mortgage, final expense, general life. We generate leads. We do all these different lead types and vendors. We have ILC. You can go on there. You can search lead throughout the United States and buy your own leads. Here's what lead cost looks like. The cheapest lead is going to be like $1, 50, upwards to like 20, $30. We also have lead programs where X amount of dollars, it's $500 a week, $1,000 a week. There is no number of leads that come in that's exact, but average is this. Okay. So let them know this is what agents spend on a weekly basis, $500 a week, $1,000 a week. Okay. 2,000, 3,000. You don't need to start at 2, 3,000, 5,000 a week. It's okay. You can start off at 500 and then work your way up. Okay. And we'll talk more leads a little bit, but these things need to be explained. If an agent comes in and go, I didn't know, Daniel, you didn't tell me this. I didn't know this is what we had to do. I didn't know I had to call people and there's going to be upset people. Like, what? You have to make sure that that expectation is there. Okay. So that's that first part of hiring and talking to them. Now, the second thing is onboarding. Okay. When it comes to onboarding, what is your process for onboarding? It needs to be uniform, period. Okay. Every single agent has to have the same experience. Okay. So, online course. So, for example, like with us, they'll schedule a time to meet with our admin and our admin will sit with them, enroll them to the course, walk them through the course, explain to them how to go through the course, how quickly they should get done, and give them an actual walkthrough. Okay. When they're going through the course, we're checking in with them. How's the online course going? What's going on with it? How far are you? We know the answer already because we could just look it up on Excel, but
Right.
I want to see where this person stands. Okay. Now, if it's a personal recruit of yours, or if it's so we do two things. We have admin staff do it, and we have the manager or whoever hired them do it. Because now your story needs to match. Okay. Now, if Steve sits here and tells me that I'm almost done with the course, and then Janelle calls and says, "How's the course going?" I'm like, yeah, I'm barely getting started. Now I got two different stories. Now I'm like, well, he told me he's almost done. He told you he's yeah. See, we need to talk to this dude and really get him going and what's going on. So now he's making stuff up. But me and the admin are always on in the sync. We know what's going on. Okay. So checking in with them. Then when they're scheduling their exam, same thing. We're making sure that, hey, if you need help, we'll help you. You could jump on our Zoom and then let's go through it and make sure you get enrolled into the right exam. Don't take the wrong exam. Okay. Um, from there, application to the state. If you have fingerprint state, making sure they get their fingerprints done, telling them where to go. Okay. From there. Now, what was I going to say? As far as like speed, okay, depending on your state, okay, it really is what it is. Like California is like the worst. Basically, it takes forever. But online course, I always tell them max 7 to 10 days. You shouldn't be taking that long. This is a cram style course. You cram through the course and take the practice exams as many times as you possibly can. Once you're passing those practice exams, you'll be fine. California, you need a D minus. You need 60%. Like that's yeah. You need 90 questions right out of 150. Come on. Then if it's in another state, sure, 70%. Okay. But I tell them to speed through it, get through it as quick as they can, learn the material quickly, and then take the exam immediately. Okay. If you try to go and be like, all right, here's the plan. I'm gonna do the course 3 weeks, and then I'm gonna schedule my exam 1 week later. I tell them every time, you're failing. I'll bet you want to bet you fail? Like there's no way you're gonna remember things from 4 weeks ago on this course. You're tripping. It's not gonna happen. This is why 7 to 10 days max you should be spending on this course, and then take the test. Boom, that next day. So in depending on your state, most states they you could do it online. So you click that thing, the scheduling. It's literally any day of the week and weird hours too. You can take it at midnight, 2 a.m., 1 a.m. It's crazy to me. But yeah, you could take it in all different hours. Okay, so speed. You got to get it quickly. I mean, even that. Some people, if it's somebody I know, I'm like, yo, 5 days, man, max. You shouldn't take very long. Hurry up and get this done in 5 days. Take your test on the sixth or seventh day. Quick. Okay. So that's online core. That's onboarding. Make sure it's uniform. Everybody runs through the same process. Now, from there, training. What does it look like? Do they have an online training? Is there Zoom training? Is there one-on-one training? What should the agent expect? Okay. So that process, I'm gonna break that down a little further too. Okay. Next thing, four is gonna be release meeting process prior to getting leads. So I'm sure you guys do release meeting, yes?
Bro,
Still?
you want to know what's funny? I did them because of you.
Yeah. Okay. There's no point in an agent getting leads if they don't know what the hell they're doing.
Exactly.
You're just literally leading them to failure. You're like, yo, here's a cliff. Go ahead and walk off of it. You don't even know the presentation. Let's just call it. That's ridiculous. So we run a release meeting process. Okay. You need to know the presentation. You need to know what you're doing. So basically it's this. I'm gonna sit with you, Steve, one on one. You need to screen share everything that you're doing. Okay. I'm gonna give you a scenario. I'm gonna give him two scenarios. So one, you're gonna present to me. There's no phone a friend for this either. You can't ask for no help. You can't nothing. Okay. And I don't even break character when somebody says like, "Am I doing this right?" I'm like, "I'm not sure, sir. I don't understand what you mean by that." And they're like, "Damn, yeah, keep going." Right? So it's like, keep going. I'm not here to help you because if you can't even get through a basic presentation, there's absolutely no reason you should be talking to a real client. Okay? It's not fair to the client. It's not fair to their family. It's not fair to you either. It's not fair, period. Okay,
You
you're
want
going
to
to
know
be
what's crazy?
discouraged.
So just so y'all understand this, and I was talking to Sean Mike, and he said the company that Harold came from trains agents better than anybody in the industry. They do. They just pay like crap and have crappy products, but they train agents phenomenally, which is why most of the guys that come from their company come over here and break every damn record we have, right? So I said, really? So I called Harold and I go, explain to me how you guys train agents at the previous place. And he goes, oh, bro, this is how we did it. We call them a release presentation. And then you have to have a manager sign off before you can get leads and da 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 da. And I'm like, that is freaking brilliant. So here's what's crazy. So we implement that in our boot camp, right? And another integrity partner started using our boot camp and he started doing release presentations. And he calls me and he goes, Steve, I'm pissed. I'm like, why? He goes, I have 4 release presentations today and all 4 people failed. I go, isn't that great? And he goes, what do you mean? I go, at least now you know why they suck.
Yep,
Because your old plan was here's some leads, go dial them. And in 2 weeks from now, they'd quit and you wouldn't know where they went.
yep,
I'm like, at least now you know why they suck. So you actually can coach them, teach them, train them how to overcome what they suck at. And by the way, for those of you that are managers on this call, everybody sucks at different things. Some people are phenomenal on tone, but they can't pitch to save their life. Some people can pitch, but they can't get through objections. Everybody struggles with something different. That's the
yep,
best part about agency managing, right? So I do release presentations. I swear by them because of him. So if you go at the time, by the way, at the time, we were doing way more volume and I still picked up something from him because, like I said earlier, we're students of the game, dude. We're just trying to help our agencies win.
hmm
That's all. So I love that you talk about that because it's literally on my notes. Agents release presentations. You have to do
yep,
them.
yeah, period. Because the thing is imagine you throw an agent out, they go buy leads, they don't know their presentation, or you're listening to their presentation, you're going, Steve, what are you saying, dude?
Yeah.
Why didn't I write that? Because you have no clue what you're doing, man. Like, that's the
Hey,
worst feeling ever.
the
Why
best
would I
part
do
is
that?
like you go, what script are you using? Because that's definitely not
Yes.
mine.
Yeah. The the funny thing is when we do releases and somebody goes off presentation, oh, I'll rip all the way through and run with it. I'm going. We're going. I'm gonna take that. You said what? Okay, cool. I'm running with that all the way through and through.
Right.
They make a small mistake, or for example, like, yeah, you can get payoff, and then I'm like, okay, bet, cool, great, let's go through, and I don't qualify, and I'm gonna go all the way through and through and through, and like, yeah, I want option one. I'm down for that. I'll take that. At the end of it, I go decline, and they're like, what do you mean decline? Medical conditions, this and this and this. You just pitched me something I can't get.
Good, good. Yeah.
And guess what? You're gonna backtrack and go, well, you're gonna get payment. Nah, I'm good.
I
Don't
don't want
want
it
it.
no more.
Peace.
Yeah.
So that's why it's important because you need to mess up in front of me, not a client. That don't make sense. When you mess up in front of a client, that costs money. You mess up in front of me, it's a learning situation, right? That's it. It's a learning lesson. You're learning. That didn't
Dude,
cost you anything.
it's funny because I do them on Zoom because of you, right?
Yeah.
And we have our cameras on.
Yep.
And then I'm like, yeah, I'm not interested. Take me off your damn list. Stop calling me. And they're like, I'm like, hey, I hung up because you never said anything. But I'm like, we laugh. Like in this environment, we laugh. But
Yeah.
Daniel, we get that every day.
Yeah.
Every day.
That's true.
For those of you that dial, we get that every day. So we go, why are we not going to go train them for that? Because that's what they're going to get.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So I love it, man. I appreciate you for teaching me that.
Yep. Yep. So release meeting, super important. That's a high priority item. You need to make sure you do them no matter what. That's not even an option. Like it doesn't even make sense. Okay. You're just setting up people for failure, and that's not what you hired them for. Okay. Next thing is you got to your inspect and your upskilling. What are you doing? Right? Are you listening to agents present? Are you continuing to upskill them through training? Okay, one-on-one training and whatnot. Okay. So that's their process, right? You got your hiring, your onboarding, your training and expectations, your release meeting, and then your inspect and upskilling. So it needs to be uniform. Same process over and over and over again, duplication. Because then if I do it this way, Steve can do it that way, Daniel can do it that way, Thomas can do it that way, Jenny can do it that way, Carlos can do it. We're good because everybody can do it the same way. Okay. Now the next thing is your training and structure. They're kind of go hand in hand. Okay. So training, what are they doing? Online course, right? So you guys have a training boot camp. Okay. With the training boot camp, everybody has gone through it? Yes.
They should. Yeah.
Okay. If you are a manager and you do not know what's in that training boot camp, what the hell are you doing? Go do it. Go run the training. Go redo the training so you know what's in there, so you know what your agent's been taught, and you know what they don't know. Okay? You have to. There's no point in being like, oh, was that in the training? Oh my God, dude, are you kidding me right now? Was that in the training? What kind of manager response is that? Oh, Steve, was that in the training? I don't. Oh, IULs was in there? Oh, okay, well that's dope. Like, oh my God. Should not ever happen. You need to redo the training yourself to make sure you know what's in there so you know exactly what they're learning. From there, the second thing we do with agents is what's your schedule? Steve, let's go through your schedule. What is it going to look like? Okay. Let's see what it looks like. What time is your start time? What is your plan? Here's all the trainings so you know what times they are. What time is your start time? What time is your stop time? Okay? Put your non-negotiables in there. If you have pickup, you have drop off, all those things, throw that in there. Okay? Without a schedule, you will fail. So I tell every agent, without a schedule, you will fail here. You cannot work whenever you feel like it. It's not how it works. It's not no business operates like that. Okay? So you need to have a proper schedule. Second thing is, what's your training schedule look like? So if they are doing the online boot camp, how long does it take to get through that? Okay. And then if you have trainings within your Zooms, what times are they and what rooms are they in? How does that work? Like we have one that says training room. Like one of our rooms is training room. Let me tell you right now. It's training room. One of them's 24-hour fitness and one of them's CrossFit. We just have funny names on all of our Zoom names. Right. So that's it. So when everybody's just like, where's training going to be? Oh, training room one, it's in the CrossFit room. Like, all right, cool. So there's no confusion at all. They know where it is, what time it is. So that schedule needs to be done. Second thing, as a manager, you need to have a one-on-one with every single one of your directs. Period. Period. If you have a direct, you need a one-on-one with them every single week, period, no matter what. That is your check-in. How are things going? Hey Daniel, what do you need help with? What's been going on with you? How's your lead flow? You got to have some type of structure to it. Okay? So, wins, what have you been doing well at? Okay? What's your lead flow look like? How much business have you ridden? Okay? What can I do to help you? Action plan. Then an action plan. Take notes. So the following meeting, you can go, hey, how did this go and how did that go? I know your lead flow wasn't too hot last week. What does it look like? Were you able to get more leads? You did. Okay, great. How did that go? Hey, you weren't your presentation this or whatever it is. Hey, you fixed it. I know that was part of the action plan. You're good. Okay. So one-on-ones, no matter what, need to happen. The worst thing, Steve, I know I'm sure you've heard this, and they go, Steve, man, I'm not doing too hot. And they go, okay, well, when was the last time you talked to Janelle? July, June, something like that. Are you kidding me right now? To me, that's like, okay, well, so she basically wrote you off. So Daniel, hey, Steve needs help. I need you to help him. Okay. Janelle really isn't paying attention to him and not really helping him, so I'm gonna go ahead and he's gonna work with you now. If somebody tells me they have a problem with that, I'm like, what do you mean? Why do you have a problem with that? You didn't care about Steve in the first place. Steve's a real person who's trying to feed his family, and you obviously don't care about him. So I'm gonna put him with somebody who does care or who will care and put the work in and try to help him. That's the only way that's the only time I'm gonna be like, yo, when somebody says, oh, you're gonna take my agents from me? Yeah, if you deserve it. If you deserve to get your agent taken away, then yes, they're going to be taken away. That's crazy to me. You haven't talked to this person in a month, 2 months? Like, are you serious? And they're drowning and failing, and you have no clue what's going on? What the hell was that, dude? Yeah, dude, hey, I'll have that conversation with you too. I'm like, look, you obviously don't care. They haven't talked to you in this long. They showed me zero text messages from you. You have zero emails. You have zero contact. You don't even sit with it. You're not with Zoom with them. Yeah, dude, I'm moving them. Like, Period. If you have a problem with that, I would do the same for you too. So your manager didn't give a shit about you, wasn't helping you, I would move you too. Period. Okay, so one-on-ones no matter what, every single week, at the very least. Okay. Next, your hierarchy, right? This is extremely important, okay? Because you have to work as a team. If you are not working as a team, everything fails. Okay. So this is why management is important. I know it's funny when you say, when you're talking about, oh, building an agency and writing. Yeah, that's why I have a management group for. That's the point. I have a management team. Okay. If Daniel is under Steve and Daniel keeps coming to me, I'm gonna be like, Steve, I'm just trying to understand what do I need you for? Like, because Daniel keeps coming to me. You obviously aren't helping him. What did I don't know what I need you for. I'll take Daniel direct to me, dude. Like, are you not gonna help him or what's going on here? What's the point of having you? That's what that's for, that hierarchy. Why are you skipping Steve? That doesn't make sense. First, I'm gonna have the conversation. Have you talked to Steve about this? No. Well, why not? Well, he's busy. He never answers my call or whatever it is. Okay, Steve, we got a problem, dude. You're not answering Daniel's call. What's going on, dude? What, you don't want to help him? I mean, if you don't want to help him, that's okay. I can give him to somebody else. That's not a problem. Or it's like, oh, well, okay, okay, cool. Take care of him. Period. And I'll throw him. You can throw him in the chat and text message thread and go, yo, Steve, Daniel needs this. Oh, hey, Daniel, Steve said he's gonna help you with it. Don't. There should be no skipping.
Right.
That's weird. Okay, because again, why do I need you? Okay, if I'm like of your manager, and you're not even taking care of your people, that's crazy. And then guess what? They'll never go to you, Steve. They're just gonna keep coming to me. They're over and over and again. And guess what? Now I don't have any more time to do the things I want to do or I need to do because I'm taking care of your agents. So again, why do I need you, right? So that's why that's important. Okay. Next, management contribution. Every manager contributes, period. Okay. We do community style training. Okay. We have training every day of the week, some type of meeting, some type of training, all different topics. Every single manager, no matter what, contributes to this because you cannot you cannot train like 10 agents out. It's not possible. If you have 10 agents, you're not going to be able to train them all. Okay. Also, it takes more time and it clears up your schedule, right? Because if you have new agents and you're trying to train them, you spend more time with them. No, I'm gonna throw them in the community training because that's what they're for, so I can get my time back. Also, when somebody says, "Well, I'm having trouble with the quote tool," well, go to the training. What do you mean? I'm not gonna sit here with you trying to teach you how to do the quote tool if we have a training for that. That doesn't make sense. Go to that training for that. Oh, I'm having trouble with whatever it is. It doesn't matter. E-apps. Okay, great. We have a class for that. Go to it. They'll teach you everything you need to know. You can ask all the questions. That's what that class is for. But every single manager has to contribute to the training. Doesn't matter what it is. Everybody pick some class. You can run a rotation of classes, whatever you need to do. But everybody contributes, period. That's super important. And also is this, if my agent likes the way Steve does it, I'm good with that. And they're learning a lot from Steve, cool. I'll take that because they attach more to that style. I'm good with that. I'm still going to manage them, still going to do my one-on-one, still do the things I need to do. But Steve's helping me out, and it's vice versa. Okay. It's like some of the people, you hire somebody who has kids. If you don't got kids, man, you ain't going to be able to relate, dude. It's not going to happen. You can't tell me you know what it's like to not get no sleep, like to be delirious because of your kids. Like it just doesn't work. You're not going to understand pick up and drop off. You're not going to understand sports. So you need to make sure that's why community style is very important. Manager meetings. You have to have manager meetings. Period. Okay. So I'm not sure how your structure looks like for you, Steve, but I have a board members, okay, for our agency where they're the top manager of their groups. Okay. Now we meet and it's not like here's, a yelling or, type of meeting. It's we're at a table. This table is flat. We are all on the same table. My table isn't higher than yours. We're all on one table. Where's our problems? Where's our issues? Let's tackle them as a team. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has a voice. Everybody can say what they need to say. We vote on things. I've lost plenty of votes on things that I wanted to do. They're like, nah, we're not doing that. I'm like, but, and they're like, who wants to do that? Everybody's like, me? And then everybody's like, nope, don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. I'll do it. All right, don't want to do it. Don't want to do it. All right, but I lost. All right, cool. Bet. What you're doing is you're giving every manager a voice. You're letting them have their voice and letting them participate with the agency growth. It's not a dictatorship. That's terrible. Okay. The other thing is that so again, top level management, I call it my board meeting. After that, if you have your own managers, you need to have a manager meeting with them too. Doesn't have to be crazy or anything like that. Okay. But it's same exact style. Just figure out what we need to fix. How can we fix it? How can we make it better? The other thing is that you need to have manager one-on-ones. This is where you do all like the calling out, okay? Where I'm sitting with my one of the managers, Steve. I'm like, all right, let's go through your numbers, dude. Here's what it looks like. Boom, 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 boom. Here's your agent average. What's going on with your agent average? It's not good. Here's your bottom players that you need to make sure you pay attention to. Here's the people you need to talk to and figure out what's going on. Oh, okay, they're under Daniel. All right, cool. Make sure Daniel spends time with this person. Okay, this person's under Janelle. Cool. Make sure Janelle spends time with this person. Now we've addressed all the issues, and it's not you trying to do it on your own. It's everybody's doing it as a unit. Okay, so you have to have manager one-on-ones. Right now, going into training, you have an online course. Like I said, you guys make sure you need to know what that is. You need to go through it if you have not. What's your weekly agency trainings? How many trainings do you guys do a week,
3.
Steve? Three. Okay, cool. So you know exactly what those are, what the times are. Your people know exactly what's going to be there. You are also there. If it's an agency-wide training, you need to be there because if I'm not there, why is Thomas going to be there? He's going to be in there and go, damn, Harold's never there. Shoot, I guess this is. I guess I shouldn't even be here either. Who cares? I'm there. You can't. I'm like, what do you mean? So when Thomas comes to me and says, "Hey, I have a question about this," I'm gonna go, "You didn't go to the training? We literally went over that. What happened? You missed it? All right. Well, if you want me to go over with you, let's do like 8:30 tonight. You good with that? Or no? Okay, that doesn't work. All right, let's do 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's when it's convenient for me. I'm not going into inconvenience myself because you didn't go to the training. There's no way. Okay. That's also another thing when it comes to training. As a manager, especially when you're new, your assumption is that you drop everything that you're doing to help your agent. You're out of your mind.
Absolutely.
You are crazy if you think that's what you're supposed to do. They're like, well, they had a question and they're, trying to figure out what to do with the quote tool. And I'm like, oh, are they with the client? No. What are you doing then? Why would you do that? Why would you stop everything you're doing to go help them? That makes no sense. Schedule that out. All right, cool, dude. I'll meet you at 8:30 at the end of the night. When my night's over, we can talk. Because if you're just trying to figure out how to use, questions on quote tool and what to do in a scenario that you're not even in, like, yeah, dude, I'm holla at you later, dude. You're not even with a client, dude. What's the point? It's already after the fact, or what's the point? Let's talk about it later. It already happened. We can't fix it. Okay. But I could teach you later. That's cool. So don't drop everything you're doing. Don't sit there and go, oh, I have to listen to every presentation they do, everything that they're doing. No, the hell you don't. You do not. Okay. Um, Weekly training. Oh, script training is very important too. You need to make sure you're doing script trainings. Okay. If you're expecting an agent to learn the presentation on their own, it's not going to happen. You're out of your mind. Okay. You need to do script training, mock presentations. You need to pair them up with another agent and do mock presentations. A manager has to be present on those. You don't take a new agent and then another new agent and go, hey, practice presentation. They don't know what they're supposed to be looking for and they don't know what they're supposed to be doing. Like, somebody has to be present on those because if they mess up, you can correct it. Or if they're just two new agents trying to teach each other. Come on, dude. The blind leading the blind. Like, come on, dude. Can't do that. Okay. So script training. For existing agents, like agents who are currently here, again, value. What value are you bringing? Like the weekly agency trainings. What is it? Is it going to bring them value too? Keep in mind who your audience is. It's not only going to be brand new. It's also going to be existing. People who've been here for a couple of months, maybe a year, 2 years, or whatever. It also needs to apply to them too. Upskill training. Are you doing like an advanced style training? Are you doing one-on-one advanced training? Whatever it is. If it's advanced market, are you doing advanced market training like, IUL or annuity training? And then the other thing that's important is management training. This is why one-on-ones are important with managers, teaching people how to manage. Okay. When somebody's not doing well, let me show you what you need to do, how you need to do it. Here's how you need to spend time with this person. Here's the things that you need to ask. Here's the things that you need to go through with them. Okay. So management training is very important too, because that's not easy. Being a manager isn't easy. Everybody assumes that, oh, you're going to be good at managing. You already know what you're doing. No, 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 no. I know how to write business. I don't know how to manage, dude. Everybody assumes a top producer is a good manager. That's not true at all.
Absolutely not.
Period. Somebody has to be taught. It's a skill. So you need to teach them. Okay. Next thing, leads. What is the lead formula? When you have a brand new agent come in, what's the formula? What is it? What does it look like? What are they grabbing? Okay. I have a $500 budget. How are we doing this? Okay. Are they getting age mortgage? Are they getting final expense? Are they getting maybe Facebook, general life, or whatever it may be? What is that formula look like for a brand new agent? Okay. Are they on a lower comp model where you're providing them with leads? I got that from you. Okay. What is it? What does it look like for them? Okay. Then from there so for things that we do is we go over the multiple lead sources. We go over lead examples of like, hey, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, you should do that. Usually it's mortgage for us. Everybody runs age mortgage. Okay. Age mortgage, people say, why age mortgage? Well, number one, it teaches you how, being on the phones, how to be good on the phones. It leads you to all the different policies that we write. Okay. It'll lead you to how to write a term policy. It'll lead you how to write a CBO. It'll teach you how to do a final expense. It'll take you into the IUL route, and it takes you to all the different carriers and all the different applications. That's why I personally like mortgage, because it takes you in all different directions. Because you want to have a versatile agent. If you have an agent who only does final expense, they only know how to do whole life. They don't know how to do IULs. They don't know how to do term either. They don't know how to do CBO. They don't know nothing. That's all they do is final expense, final expense. What if I came in and said, I don't want to do final expense. I want to do mortgage. Well, Steve, I don't know how to do mortgage, so you're gonna do final expense. Like, I don't want to do that though. Now you're not versatile. Now you can't teach them anything. Okay. So all the different lead sources. So you as a manager, you also just then states. So we talk states. Okay, multi-time zone. What's the recommendation? One in every time zone, right? As soon as you can. That way you can work whatever hours you need to work. So if you need to work early morning, you can run the East Coast. If you need to work really late, then you can run the West Coast or even Alaska or Hawaii. Okay. And then Central is Central, right? So you have that flexibility of working all the different hours. Okay. Next, again, starting budget. What is it? Show them how they need to increase it every single week, and then make sure they understand all the different lead sources and how to buy them and what to do and how to get them. Okay. And where to increase and when to increase. Okay. So consistent consistency is very important too. So are they buying every single week, every 2 weeks, or every month? Right? So one person asked me one time, was like, yo, backs against the wall, you have this much, da 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 da. What do you do? I'll buy 1 month's worth of leads. They're like, a whole month's worth of leads. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. If you have 1 month's worth of leads in front of your face, what are you gonna do with it? You're just gonna
Exactly.
stare at it? You're just gonna look at it? No, you're gonna work it. But guess what? If you buy 1 week's worth of leads, your back's against the wall, you have 1 week's worth of leads, that following week, I promise you, when it's time to buy leads, you're going to question it. You're going to sit there and go, do I buy them? I didn't really write that much. I did make some money. No. You know what? I'll skip this week. Then you go into that week and maybe you write, it's a new day, same leads, no good. Then you're going to question it again. So you got to explain this to the agent. You got to sit with them and say, hey, look, this isn't like for example, my old company. Same leads, different week. It's easy here. Guess what? New day, new leads. New week, new leads. New month, new leads. It ain't the same day, same leads, same week, same leads, none of that. You have that power. And when you have a mindset and you understand that you have new leads coming and you always have new leads, you will always write business. So you need to sit down with that agent and make sure they understand and you plan out. Here's what you have $500 a week that you want to do. Okay, great. Here's the plan. Boom, 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 boom. Run a 4 to 8 week plan. That's usually I run an 8 week plan. Hey, run this for 8 weeks. Okay. Do this every single week. Or hey, we're gonna buy 1 month worth of leads, and then on our next one-on-one or our second one-on-one, whatever it is, third one-on-one, we're gonna buy another month's worth of leads. So now you have 2 months worth of leads. You got to finish out this month, and then that other lead pack is waiting for you. Then you'll write business. If they're sitting there questioning whether they should buy leads, you're gonna have a problem. They're not gonna write. They're not gonna do well because they're gonna be sitting there questioning it over and over and over again. But when you get like 1 month's worth of leads, ain't nothing to question but the fact that you wake up more. Am I gonna work these leads? That's it. You split them up into a month, 1 month worth of leads, split them up into the month, 4 weeks. Here's the batch for this week. Here's the batch for this week. Here's the batch. Boom, run it. Okay. And we do the method of every single when you're new, every day new leads, right? So first day 100 leads, second day 100 leads, third day 100 leads, fourth day 100 leads, fifth day is recap day, so or rerun day, run through all the leads again. Okay. Then that following week, guess what? Week two, day one, another 100 new leads, and then so forth. Do it every single day, new leads, new leads. I don't know if you guys have heard my process on that, but that's best way to do it. You buy a month's worth of leads or a week's worth of leads or 2 weeks or whatever it is, but every single day you only work a certain part of it. If you have 400 leads, for example, on Monday you work 100, Tuesday you work 100, you add another 100, Wednesday another 100, Thursday another 100, Friday you rework, make sure everything is all cleaned up, hit your follow-ups. Okay, because as you go each day, you're gonna work through the leads and you're gonna get some not interested, booked appointments, you're gonna get your sales, you're gonna get all the above. But then that following week, you do it again. Okay, following week, that following Monday, you still have your old leads from the week before. Add another 100 on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Do the same thing, repeat. And then now your mentality is going to be completely different. Okay. It's completely different where your mind is going to be because you're going to be like, tomorrow I have new leads,
Yep.
right? That's why I said that earlier. New, same day or new day, same leads. Oh, your mind is screwed. You're completely screwed. You're going to be sitting there you're going to be panicking, just like the old people panicked. But if it's a new day, new leads, guess what? If you got new leads, you're not going to panic. You're in a different mindset. Okay. So that's very important. Okay. So leads, remember, lead flow is cash flow. If the agents don't understand what their lead flow is looking like, they're not going to succeed because they're going to be so confused. They're going to be so lost. What do I do? Well, I'm going to buy leads, or when do I buy leads? How do I buy leads? Okay. It's not going to work. Okay. So just to recap again, you got your process. Needs to be uniform. Everybody needs to have the same exact experience from brand new, no insurance experience, no license, to even license, whatever that experience is, needs to be the same all the way through and through. Okay. You got to have a proper agency structure. Okay. You have to have hours of operation. You have to have an agency wide schedule that everybody knows and follows. You need to have one on ones with your directs. You need to have one on ones with your managers. You need to have a management meeting. Your training needs to be on point where everybody knows what's going on, everybody knows what's being taught. Okay. And then you have to upskill them as you go and then make sure their lead flow is right. Okay. I mean, that's our process.
Dude,
That's
I
what we
love it.
do here. It's all the same, never changes. Okay. What you got for me, Steve?
Bro, I appreciate you because you literally just like in corporate America, they call them SOPs,
Mm-hmm.
standard operating procedures. You basically gave us the SOPs for your business.
Exactly.
Like fuck, whoops. Like people would pay thousands of dollars to figure out step by step how do we do it, and you just literally delivered that to us in the last 45 minutes. And
That's it.
one of the things that Harold said, and I truly mean this, and this is where like the problem with a lot of FFL agencies is the break off. And what I mean by the break off is like Daniel gets big enough and he goes, it's time for me to break off, right? That's the problem with a lot of FFL agencies. The reason why Harold's agency is so tight-knit group is because the community is so strong, right? It's what we're basically replicating. But here's what I want to share this with you, and this is why this is so important. I think I sold insurance at a decent level. I think I did plenty of training to be able to teach people how to sell insurance at a high level. Have plenty of guys in our group that are Hall of Fame producers that we worked with. You know what's crazy? My wife joins the life insurance industry and she goes, I don't like the way you sell. And I go, fair. Let me introduce you to Harold. And guess what? Her sales process is completely different than mine. She uses Harold's HIPAA disclosure. She uses a lot of stuff that he does. And guess what? I don't care. You know why? Because the result's the result. If you're ego driven, you'd be like, what the hell? Why are you listening to somebody else sell insurance instead of me? Why wouldn't you just copy my way? Bro, you can either have a big paycheck or a big ego. Can't have both. And just like what Harold said when he says we have management contributions where everybody trains everybody's stuff. And guess what? Sometimes your people that you work with don't jive with you. It is what it is.
Hmm.
It's okay. They just don't like your style or they don't have anything to relate to, which is fine. But they have somebody on the team that they can relate to. And if we're training each other's agents, we're all making money. Ain't nobody mad about that. So,
Yep.
Harold, I wanted to say thank you. I appreciate you, man.
Yep. Yep.
You know, anything else you have before we wrap up in the next minute?
Don't break off. Just exactly what you just said right there. It was like, don't break off. Everybody thinks like, oh, I'm gonna have my own Zoom. Like, if you want to fail, go do it.
Right.
You know how hard it was to get this going? Like, you're out of your mind if you think that's gonna work. Like, you also have to remember this. In your Zoom, you have way more people. If you break off, you have way less people. You're out of your mind. I take my agent. I'm like, yo, you guys all need to I tell managers, I'm like, yo, disperse your agents. What are you guys doing hanging out in one room together? That don't even make sense. You guys are no, just start moving people into different random rooms and just make them sit with people.
Right.
And I always go into the rooms like I'll go in there and be like, Danny, what are you doing here, dude? Why are you not listening to this person or that person, this one? Oh, you run mortgage? Why are you not listening to that person? Oh, you run final expense, Carlos? Great, you should go over there. Oh, you do Spanish? Okay, well, you should go over there. I don't know what the heck you're doing over here. Steve ain't gonna teach you Spanish, bro. It's not gonna happen. You got to go somewhere else. But that's what it is, right? That's the whole point of that. And you trying to train everybody, you're tripping. Not gonna work.
Yep.
Not gonna work. You need the community. You need everybody there. So again, if somebody likes a different person's style, that's okay. Okay, that's okay. So yeah, make sure you get that lost and found room.
We're
They're not
absolutely
here.
putting that in
Zoom,
it.
like I said, if you're here, you're here. Be intentional and work. If you're not here, then log off. Peace out. Like that's not. This isn't like babysitter micromanaging. It's not what it's for. Like be here, be present. If an agent needs help, and if I'm a brand new agent and I'm sitting in a room, there's like no cameras on, I'm panicking. I'm sitting there like, oh God, I don't know who's gonna help me. Who's gonna help me? I don't know what to do. Oh my God, oh my God. Because you don't have your camera on. I don't know if I can talk to you. I don't know if I can ask you a question. But if you have your camera on, then I'm like, oh, cool. What's up, man? I got you. What you need? Hey, I'm with the client. Cool. Participate. Be present. Okay. I said that in the beginning. Just because you're here doesn't mean you're here. Just because
Absolutely.
you're here doesn't mean you're working. It don't mean nothing unless you're actually doing what you're supposed to do. Okay. All these people who talk about I work hard, I laugh at them all the time. Like, you know what? You're gonna realize how lazy you really are. Okay. You run 8 hours a day. I'm like, go write down everything you do hour or every 15 minutes or every 30 minutes. Write down everything you do and then look at it at the end of the day. You don't gotta show me and you'll see how lazy you are. That's all it is. You'll see. You're not intentional with your time. You literally BS your day. You're like, well, I needed to check my IG for what? I needed to check my emails for what? Time sensitive versus not time sensitive. Remember that. That's very important. If it's time sensitive, an agent is with a client, absolutely take care of it. If an agent is not time sensitive, hey, I just had a question about a scenario. Great, that's not time sensitive. We'll talk later. Not wasting my time on something that a fugazi that's not even real. It's a what if. Like I don't a what if we can talk about what ifs later. So just do
I
the
love
work.
it.
It's not hard. Oh, also this too. Remember this. I started here 2021 October. My timeline is not very far from you guys, from some of you guys. Maybe some of you guys been here maybe longer than me or right after me. Remember this, 2021. That means I really didn't do nothing till 22, 23, 24. Okay? Right? 22, 23, 24. That's 3 year difference. I'm not 20 years away from you, 10 years away. I'm 3 year difference from you if you just started today. 3 year difference. And on top of that, my first year, I had to figure it out. I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't ask for help. You're skipping. I tell everybody you skip the first year because we're not going to struggle together. We have it figured out. You already have a path. You know, so we're not struggling. You just get to skip that. So you're actually not very far. So $1 million agency, you can do it in 2, 3 years, if
Absolutely.
not even a year. There's people who do it in a year. So appreciate you
Aaron, I
guys.
appreciate you, man.
Yep,
Thank you so
appreciate you.
much. If
Absolutely.
if there's anything ever I can do to repay you and pay it forward, man, you let me know. But guys, I appreciate you. Make sure you get a chance to thank Harold, follow him, drop him a like, all that good stuff. But let's apply the things he taught us. And here's the best part too. We've said this years and years and years. The best thing you can do for a sales trainer is to actually apply the information you learned. That's the ultimate compliment. So, Harold, thank you.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great one,
Thanks, guys.
guys.
Have a good day.